Hello and welcome to DBC Reads. Today I'm going to be telling you about The Ways We Hide by Kristina McMorris. I'm going to be honest, I started this book like 2 years ago in a book club and I just couldn't get into it. I was really struggling. It took me a long time to finally get into this story, and I think part of it is because she starts off her story, then she goes back in time to tell you a little bit about why things happened the way they did. It just took a while for me to finally catch up with where she was at, because I was really more interested in the present day events basically rather than her past. So that took me a hot minute to get into. I've talked to several friends who say that they give a book about 100 pages before they give up. This one, because it told about her past, which was interesting. She was interested in becoming a magician as a child, but she had a really rough life in her childhood. She was an orphan after some time. And I think I got into it at first because I was like, oh, this is really interesting about the beginning of her childhood, but then it was like her childhood became really miserable, and so that was rough. But this happened, her childhood was before the days of World War II, but then it moves into World War II and how she used her skills as a magician to help smuggle in contraband to the soldiers as part of the military in Britain, and how she used those tricks to kind of get things by the German soldiers so that they could have materials and weapons at their disposal that they were struggling to smuggle in, just like maps. It was hard to get maps in because, the Germans obviously didn't want them to have any kind of help in their efforts. So this story, once it finally got into how she used that ability as a magician to help the British forces and even the American forces, all the allies in the war, it got a lot more interesting for me. But this book, it ended up being fantastic, and I almost didn't want it to end. It was a sad story, so this is not a feel-good, make you happy kind of story. It is historical fiction, so it is based off of real events, things that were actually done that I had no idea about, honestly. But in the back of the book, you will find various actual historical records that show how they used playing cards to smuggle in maps. It was quite an interesting read, so I hope you will pick it up. You can check it out on my Walmart creator page and enjoy it. If you've read it, please let me know what you think about it, and happy reading.